This is Verified Idiot, and Verified Idiot wants to build a Confessor from scratch, but it's not going to be easy. Hello, and welcome to episode 12 of the Corvette to Confessor Bootstrap Challenge. Episode 12 for real this time. It's been a hot minute since the last episode, but I've been a little busy with other things. You can blame my corp on my main account. Anyways, as I said last episode, I am going to go straight to the warzone with this PvP fit executioner, which is fit for kiting. So the very first thing I need to do is enlist. And there we go. Enlisted in the 24th Imperial Crusade. So to get the Imperial Navy Acolytes, I need loyalty points with the 24th Imperial Crusade, which I'd get by completing sites. And in the Warzone, I find that there's generally 3 different playstyles. The first, and probably the most popular, is the Farmer. The Farmer sucks for everyone else, and a lot of people hate him, but it's still very popular because it's the best one for making ESC. And so, basically what the Farmer is the Farmer goes in a Plex, clears the site, and just keeps watching D-scan. If someone comes to D-scan, like a hostile slides in, they warp off. They avoid any and all fights. Their only interest is to clear the sites and get the loyalty points. The second general playstyle is the Hunter. The Hunter goes around, scans down sites, looks for people, and just slides into plexes and tries to jump people. It's a pretty frustrating playstyle because most of the time the person you're going to be sliding in on is a farmer and is just going to warp off. I personally don't have the patience for that playstyle. The third one, and my personal favorite, is what I call the Fisher. At a glance, at least from the Hunter's perspective, the Fisher looks identical to the Farmer, because the Fisher goes to a site and clears the site for loyalty points. But the difference is, the Fisher doesn't run from incoming fights. The Fisher watches D-scan. If the fight is actually engageable and not some one-sided curb stomp, then the Fisher will let them come in and fight them. It's kind of like going to a lake and putting your hook in the water, except the worm on the hook is your own ship. You're using yourself as bait. Now, I really need the loyalty points for the Acolytes, so my current plan is to be a farmer just long enough to complete one site. Once that one site is done, and I have my loyalty points, enough loyalty points guaranteed for at least several sets of Acolytes just from one site, then I will start fishing. So this way I can get more loyalty points, but also take fights at the same time. Normally I just go fishing right out the gate, but I don't anticipate this ship actually winning any fights. I'm going to try, but it's not a particularly strong ship. It's kind of lacking in raw stats just because it's fit with Tech 1 modules, like across the board. Like Tech 1 guns is a huge nerf to the EPS. It has very little tank. And the range on the guns, because I'm using Imperial Navy Standard instead of Scorch, is just not up to par. It'd be very easy to get into web range by accident and get webbed, and then scrammed, which shuts off the micro warp drive and then completely negates the one advantage this ship has, which is range control and outranging the opponent. It's also worse off because it doesn't have rigs, so it's not a particularly good fit. And so because it's particularly weak, I kind of expect to just lose the first fight. I'm still going to try. But because I expect to lose the first fight, I want to make sure I don't take any risks when taking the first site. And so I definitely want to just make sure the first site gets farmed. Once I have the loyalty points for that first site, I know I can buy the drones, and from there, I can be as risky as I want. So that's the general plan. Here we are in Sala. This is a system that the Minotaur Alliance actually stages out of, or fleet. They stage out of this Fortizar right here, which, by the way, this Fortizar is actually a free port. I could dock there if I wanted to. Anyways, here we are, the very first site. This is the one that I want to farm. I appear to have a tracking problem. I got under my own guns there. I guess it's important to find that out against the NPCs instead of against an enemy player. And there we go! My first bit of loyalty points. I now have 15,000 loyalty points with the 24th Imperial Crusade. Okay, so I'm going to go to a friendly controlled system now because shooting the NPCs in the Plex is actually very annoying because the ship's EBS is so low that it took forever. So I can run the sites in a friendly system without having to shoot the NPCs because they're all friendly. However, this reduces your LP payout because it's one friendly, and it also reduces it further based on how contested it is. I believe you get more LP based on if the system is more contested. So I picked the single most contested front line I could find at about 88% contested to get the most LP. And since it's so contested, this means that Minmatar's probably actively focusing on flipping the system and running sites in there to flip that system. Which means I have a higher chance of running into people there. So if I sit in those sites, I might just get a fight. Let's hope. Alright, here we are. 88% contested frontline system. Let's start with this medium. There's a Tormentor, but it's potentially blue. Let's find out. Blue. Okay, we're not fighting him. I guess we're going to a small then. Do I dare fight an Algos? Screw it, let's try it. Wait, he's trying to ECM me? What? Uh-oh. There's drones. I might have to bail. Yep, I gotta bail. Owie. Wow! That was fast! I didn't even have time to think. That was really fast. Well, I told you I wasn't going to live long in a fight. Alright, so to get my Imperial Navy Acolytes, I need to haul 5 regular Acolytes up to the Warzone. And then just spend 3,000 LP and 3 million ISK to convert them to Imperial Navy. I think I'll take Coral because it should have the fastest align time. And it'll hurt less if I lose Coral compared to if I lose Grim. And after that I need the closest 24th Imperial Crusade Station. Okay, I've got a problem here. I jumped this gate. There's a Phobos here just sitting here. I think I got a gate camp on my hands. Go, 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 go. Okay, I think I warped off faster than he could lock. I'm good. Alright, known gate camper. Let's flag him hostile. Docked up and away from the Phobos. That would be a Galente ship, the Hector. Here we go, the Phobos. A heavy interdiction cruiser. Which means he would be able to use an infinity point, which has a pretty long range. But he's gone. I got away. No easy kill for him. I'll continue traveling now to go get my Imperial Navy Acolytes. Alright, drones here. Open the loyalty point store. And then Acolyte. Purchase. And there we go. The big goal is done. With enough loyalty points for 4 more batches of this. 5 times Imperial Navy Acolyte. Now I get to just take it home. 28 jumps. Alright. I've made it back to Yair. And now Grim has Imperial Navy Acolytes. I only need 2 of them in here. And now with the improvement in drones, perhaps I should start clearing some sites here, but maybe I'll see if there's some combat sites I could clear. Let's scan them down. Oh, a relic site. Well, since I found a relic site, I may as well hack it. Ooh, look at that. Tech 2 salvage. Oh, here we go. Combat site. Alright, so I don't know if you saw that, but right here there was a hostile node I had to click and kill. And it is surrounded by 6 other nodes. In hacking, there's something called the Rule of 6. If you find a hostile node in a spot that is surrounded by 6 other nodes, so like not this one because there's no node here, but this one because there is 6 nodes around it, then that guarantees for a fact that the main node, the one you have to kill to complete the hacking minigame, is just 1 node away. So one of these 4 remaining nodes is the one I need to kill to hack it. Guaranteed. Beyond any shadow of a doubt. Sure enough, there it is. Outgrowth Rogue Drone Hive. I'm gonna have to look the site up. Oh yeah, I'm not running that. That is a 5 out of 10 DED. Yikes. Wow, the can was empty. Whatever, I got a pretty good load of salvage here, including some Tech 2 salvage. Which is really, really nice. Okay, so artificial neural networks and capacitor consoles. I don't think I have enough Tech 2 salvage for anything fancy. Let's just look at the rigs I do have. So these ones are this one's gonna require Tech 2 armor plates that I don't have. But maybe this one, if invented, which would require skills I currently don't have and all kinds of training. But just in theory, if I were to invent it, what would it require? Power circuit, a logic circuit, and a capacitor console. I have the capacitor console, I don't have the rest. I think it's a similar story with all the rest. I don't have the baseline Tech 2 salvage. Well, let's get into Grim and go have some fun. Thank you all for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. It was a lot of fun going out into the warzone, even though I lost my first fight almost instantly. Pretty predictable outcome though, given it was an Algos I was facing off against. The next goal is to get a Coercer. The idea behind that is a lot more DPS, to rat even faster and generate more ISK an hour. And with that ISK an hour, I can go for a cruiser blueprint, which will cost me around 83 million ISK. If you enjoyed this video, you should consider joining the in-game chat, which is Corvette to Cinnaball, and joining Building a Cinnaball's Discord, link in the description below. Have a great day.